I want to confess to you the most unglamorous money habit that I have. No app, no spreadsheet, no strategy session. Just a Wednesday morning, a cooler bag, some chicken salad, maybe a water bottle, some almonds, and an ice pack. That's it. It's probably the single most effective money move I make. And when I caught myself thinking that last week, standing in my kitchen counter before running errands, I thought, I need to make a video about this. Because here's the thing most people don't want to hear. The habits that are actually moving money in your life, they're the most unimpressive ones. They're not the investing. They're not the budget binder. They're so small, so boring, so completely unglamorous. Nobody makes a YouTube about them. Until now. Hi there, my friend. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I'm a certified financial coach, and I help midlife women stop spending on the life they were sold and start saving for the one that they actually want. If that sounds like you, stick around and subscribe. My free newsletter and my book, Fundamentally Frugal, are both linked below. Come find me there. Habit number 1, use what you own before buying anything new. There's a woman named Renata who went 11 months without buying a single personal care product. Not as a no-buy challenge, because she made one rule. Nothing new until something is gone. Think about your own bathroom right now. The cabinet under the sink, the basket with 3 open conditioners, 2 moisturizers you switched away from, but never finished. And the lotion from last Christmas you haven't touched. Most of the women I work with are sitting on $200 to $400 worth of products they already own. One rule, nothing new until something runs out. You use what you already paid for, you stop buying things you already have, your bathroom has actual breathing room. And, as a matter of fact, some of those products you abandoned, they're pretty good once you actually finish them. Habit number 2, prep your produce the day you buy it. Now, I'm not talking about total meal prep here. I want to be clear about that. This is not a Sunday project. This is 20 minutes on the day you come home from the store. Wash the strawberries, chop the peppers, snap the green beans, put them in a container before you put anything else away. What it does is remove a decision. When you open the fridge on a Thursday at 6 p.m., tired, there's already food washed and ready. The choice is easy. When there's a bag of grapes and a bunch of kale that still need washing and a block of cheese, the choice is often, let's just order something. When food is already prepped, the decision never comes up. This habit doesn't save money at the store. It saves the money you are going to spend on takeout because you were already too tired to deal with a head of broccoli. Habit 3, never leave home without food. This one is personal. We touched on this at the very start of the video. I do not leave the house without snacks and water. And if I'm going to be out for any real stretch of time, I pack a lunch. Not for some noble reason, but because I know exactly what happens when I don't. I'm on my second errand, I'm hungry, and now every drive-thru, every gas station, every Starbucks I pass is making a completely reasonable argument for itself. Hunger is one of the most reliable impulse spending triggers there is. The solution is not willpower, it's a water bottle and a sandwich you packed before you left. The snacks handle the quick trips, the packed lunch covers anything over 2 hours. Combined, this habit has probably kept more money in my pocket than anything that sounds more impressive on a list. I see you, $14 drive-through lunch. You almost had me. Habit number 4, add water to the last 15% of every single bottle. Shampoo, conditioner, dish soap, hand soap, body wash, even the ketchup. When a product feels almost gone, add a little water and shake it. You get 2 or 3 extra weeks out of every bottle in your house. Multiply that across every product you use and you're buying roughly 20 to 25% less per year. It doesn't feel like much until you realize you are replacing every bottle you own that much less often. That's the whole thing. It just quietly does its work. Now, someone in a Frugal forum wrote, I will do this even if I'm a millionaire. Full respect. Habit number 5, wear clothes more between washes. Not workout clothes and not anything that genuinely gets soiled from working in the garden. The blazer you wore to one meeting, the jeans from Saturday night's dinner, the top you had on for half a day. Most clothing does not need washing after a single wear, and every hot wash, every dryer cycle shortens that garment's life. Heat fades fabric. The dryer shrinks fibers. Your clothes wear out faster than they have to. Wearing things 2 or 3 times between washes extends their life, cuts your energy and detergent costs, and keeps your wardrobe in better shape for longer. It's not gross. It's what our grandmothers did before the laundry industry convinced us that wearing something twice was somehow a disgusting problem. They had a point. We're halfway through, and I want to name something. None of these are impressive habits. That's entirely the point. The habits that really move the needle are almost always the least exciting ones. It doesn't feel like much until you analyze it. Until you realize that 10 or 15 small habits running in the background of your regular life compound into something that actually changes the numbers at the end of the month. 5 more. And the next one I want you to think about, your laundry room. Habit number 6, use half the detergent the cap tells you to. The measuring cap inside your laundry detergent is calibrated by the manufacturer to make you use 2 or 3 times more product than you actually need. It's not a mistake. More product used means more product purchased. That's their business model. High efficiency machines need even less, sometimes just a tablespoon. One woman on Facebook said she hadn't bought laundry detergent in 4 months. Same loads, same results. The clothes were still clean. This one's been hiding in the laundry room for the whole time. The Frugal forums call it peak extraction, a quiet tax built into the product you're already buying. It costs you nothing to stop paying it. Habit number 7, stop shopping for the version of you who cooks on Thursdays. You're at the grocery store on Saturday and you think, Thursday, I'll make chicken piccata. So you buy the capers, the lemons, the white wine, the fresh parsley. Thursday comes, you're exhausted. You make a quesadilla. The capers expire, the parsley becomes a science experiment in the back of the crisper drawer, and the white wine becomes a gift for your kid's dance teacher. This is an aspirational grocery shopping, and it's one of the most invisible sources of food wastes there is. You're not being irresponsible. You're being optimistic. You're shopping for the calendar version of your week, not the actual one. The habit is one question, asked before anything goes into the cart. Which specific day am I making this, and is that actually a realistic day? If the answer is vague, it goes back. Buy for the real week, not the scheduled one. Habit 8, the windowsill scallion. You buy one bunch of scallions. When you get home, instead of putting them in the fridge, stand the root end in a glass of water on the counter. Cut what you need with scissors straight into whatever you're cooking. They regrow in 3 to 5 days. You never have to buy scallions again. The same principle works with celery bottoms, herb stems, and romaine stubs. And here's what I actually find interesting about this one. It's not really about scallions. It's a shift in how you see produce. From a one-time disposable to something that keeps giving. Once you start looking at everything a little bit differently. There will always be beautiful things to buy at Whole Foods. The scallions at $1.49 a bunch does not have to be one of them. Habit number 9, calculate the annual cost of one innocent habit. Not everything, just one thing. Pick the category that makes you a little uncomfortable when you think about it too long. Maybe it's the coffee drive-through 3 mornings a week. Maybe it's the wine on weeknights. Maybe it's the convenience items that land in the cart at checkout. The things that feel like a small treat, but happen every single week without fail. Take that weekly number, multiply it by 52. Most women have never actually done this math with the specific habit that makes them the most uncomfortable. And the number almost always surprises them. Not because anything is wrong with them, but because $5 doesn't feel like much until it's a full year of $5. 3 times a week is 780 by December. Now, I'm not telling you to stop. I'm saying know the number. Make the decision with your eyes open and your actual math in front of you. That's really the takeaway. Habit 10, shop your house before every errand run. Before you leave for Target, the grocery store, the hardware store, 5 minutes. Look at what you already have. Open the pantry, check the freezer, look under the bathroom sink. This sounds obvious, and yet, how many times have you come home from the store and found the exact thing you just bought already in the cabinet? 2 bottles of olive oil, 3 boxes of pasta, hand soap you forgot you stocked. A woman named Linda found a corned beef brisket in the way back of her chest freezer that had been there for 6 months. She made dinner from it. It was delicious. It was already paid for. Shopping your house before you shop a store is the most boring habit on the entire list. It's also the one that prevents the most duplicate buying, the most food waste, and the most that you already had moments. 5 minutes every time. Before I leave you, I just want to circle back to habit number 5 real quick, wearing the clothes more often between washes. My husband lovingly teases me about something he calls my going to town clothes. And I say lovingly, but there's definitely a smirk involved every single time. Because here's the reality of my wardrobe situation. I am not ashamed to tell you this. I have 2 main categories of clothing. There are the clothes I wear when I leave the house, the going to town clothes. They are presentable. They make me feel put together and classy. They're doing a job. They represent me in public like a reasonable adult human. And then there are the clothes I wear at home. The home clothes have exactly one job. One. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're not going anywhere. They report to no one. Their entire job description is comfort, and they're excellent at it. They've been promoted to the highest level of their profession. So the minute I walk back through the door from actually going to town, and I mean the minute, I go straight to the bedroom. I change, and those going to town clothes go right back on the hanger. Every time, without thinking about it. It's as automatic as taking my shoes off at the door. Why? Because why would you wash more clothes than you have to? That's not laziness, that's a system. Those going to town clothes last longer because I'm not running them through the wash every time I wear them once for 20 minutes. They look better longer, they hold their shape, and honestly, putting them back in the hanger at the end of the day feels a little like putting money back in my pocket. That's habit number 5. Except I've been doing it for so long, I forgot it was even a habit. My husband thinks this is very funny. He tells people about it. He says it with a smirk. And I used to laugh it off a little like it was a quirk I should probably apologize for. But I have made a lot of videos about frugal living, and I have talked to a lot of women in this community, and I have come to one conclusion. This is not a quirk. This is just someone who respects what things costs. He can keep smirking. The laundry bill doesn't lie. Tell me in the comments, does someone in your house lovingly tease you about your frugal habits? What do they say? I have a feeling we're all living the same life. And if this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please watch this video next.